So good evening, everybody. It says that I'm live, so I'm going to believe that. I'm very alive right here, so hope that I'm coming to you live wherever you are. Um, let's begin this little session tonight, and this love rising and inner space awareness. Let's just begin by a little centering meditation. We're going to go within, and this is a practice we do in Tibetan Buddhism, just following the breath, breathing in and breathing out. So it's not particularly religious at all. It's just a present moment awareness. And this is what we want to do tonight is we're going to explore how we become more consciously present to our life in the moment-to-moment way we're living through the mindfulness of being able to show up for our life. So that means not letting our mind run too much into thoughts of the past and not running too much into conjecture and thinking about what might happen, a lot of fears and anxiety. We're just living life where it's always been lived by everything that's ever lived, which is right here in the moment. So I want to invite you to get comfortable right now, wherever you are. I'm not sitting cross-legged. You can, if you sit nicely in lotus, cross-legged, and you're comfortable doing that, do that. I'm just sitting here at the nunnery in India in a chair. And the point is sit nice and tall. I'm going to move the computer back a little bit because when I really sit up taller, you can see that, I'm gaining an inch or two, a few extra centimeters. So we want our spine to be nice and straight. That's the most important thing. And we want our chin to come down just a little bit because that naturally drops our gaze downwards. And we want to just soften the gaze. So in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, we don't close our eyes all the way. So we keep our eyes half open and half closed. And this is so that we can keep our awareness, keep our mindfulness in the moment of being present consciously in the room that we're in the body that we're in, the life that we're in. But we can also allow the mind a spaciousness, a relaxed clarity that isn't necessarily focused on one thing in particular. So if we close our eyes, sometimes we see bright lights or wonderful visions or images of the Buddha. Those are all fine, but what we want to do is just a simple breath awareness. So we're kind of parking our eye consciousness. We're not using our eye consciousness, we're not engaging with it, but we're also not turning it off completely. Why is this good? Well, because when we close our eyes all the way, when we always do that, it's to go to sleep, and that gives a signal to our body. Oh, time to sleep, but we're not doing that. We're just relaxing. So we're kind of half open, half closed, sitting up straight. Our hands are in our lap in what's called the Dhyana Mudra, the wisdom mudra. So left hand, I try to show you here in the camera, underneath the right hand, and then the thumbs lightly touching, just resting down in your lap. Put your elbows out a little bit. Tip of the tongue is resting on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. The lips are soft, they're not open, they're not closed solidly. If I had a grain of rice, I could pass it through. They're just relaxed. It keeps the mouth not too moist, not too dry. And we're just relaxing the shoulders. Just going to enjoy a few nice conscious breaths, breathing in and breathing out, using the nose. So the tip of the tongue's up on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. We're relaxing the face, relaxing all the muscles, the jaw, letting the gaze come down softly, but we're not using the eyes now. We're just focusing using our inner awareness on the breath. When we breathe in, we feel the body filling with the breath, enjoying. And we breathe out, we feel the body sinking and relaxing, settling, so that our lower body from our waist down is very secure, it's very grounded. And the upper body, as we're breathing in, we really feel the breath filling our whole body. We're breathing all the way down into our diaphragm. That's about 4 fingers below the belly button, below your navel. Let the body fill up with breath. And after we breathe out, there's a natural pause. So don't force the next breath. Just let the body begin to breathe you. You're just watching, breathing in, aware of breathing in. Breathing out, aware of breathing out. And then resting. There's just a natural pause that comes up after the out breath, and we're just resting there. There's no movement, just pure awareness, stillness. And open your heart to the sensation of feeling grateful to take this time to just breathe in some peace, breathing out peace, just following the breath very gently. If you're getting distracted by noise or thoughts, that's okay. That's natural. The mind is quite busy. Sometimes it gets drawn off of its target, but notice that and just gently bring your awareness back to the breath. So when you're breathing in, you're just aware that you're breathing in. And when you're breathing out, you're aware that you're breathing out. And when breath isn't moving, you're aware that breath isn't moving. You're inviting this awareness to be wide open like the sky, open like space. Whatever moves through the sky and space, it doesn't change the nature of space. Nature of space and sky is pure, wide open, beginningless, endless, no boundaries. There can be birds flying through space, or airplanes shooting through space, or rockets blasting off through space. Space is completely undisturbed by that. It's allowing whatever's happening to just happen without clinging to it, without rejecting it, and its own nature is not changed by anything that's happening in it. We'd like our mind to be invited to become wide open like space. Clean, clear, radiant, pure. Not trying to prevent anything from arising, not trying to invite anything to arise, just aware and open awareness. Pure, clean, clear, radiant, no boundaries, non-physical, beginningless, endless awareness. So let's come out of this brief meditation now. Let's bring our awareness back, call it back in. And just check as you come out of the meditation, were you able to keep your eyes partially open, or did you find yourself relaxing so much that the eyes closed all the way? It's fine, don't judge anything, just investigate. The most important thing we bring to our meditation is a sense of curiosity, a sense of curiosity, and this radical sense of acceptance. In other words, we're not looking for anything to happen. We're not looking for any kind of wildly blissful experience to arise. We're not trying to reproduce some sensation that we had in a meditation last week or yesterday or some time ago, a year ago on a retreat. We're not trying to do any of that. We need to just let go and be in this moment that we're in. That's very important. So these are some of the questions I get often from people who say, wow, I had this moment in meditation, or I was on a retreat and it was so amazing and I've just got to get back there. Well, frankly, no, you don't. You just need to be right here in this moment that you're in now. You've got to let that go. I rejoice you had a great experience, but meditation isn't about the experience. Meditation is about the awareness of what's going on. Be that blissful and radiant, be that difficult, be that painful, be that distracted, be that very focused. It's about whatever your experience that you're having in your life now and being able to be with that. Because life happens in the now. If you constantly are looking back to the good old days or that one great bliss trip, you're not going to be able to grow. You're not going to be able to show up to really live your life. You're going to keep looking back at things, at how good it was, or thinking the next time it's going to be even better. So you're living with some kind of wishful fantasy projection of the future. In the meantime, your life is being lived in two non-realities, which are called the past and the future. That's not where life happens. Life happens now in this present. And so tonight we're looking at this inner space awareness. How do we allow ourselves to let our minds just stay with what's going on in the here and now? Well, this kind of breath meditation is one way to begin to train. How often are we able to sit even for 5 or 10 minutes, sit still, invite the mind to collect and just join us in the present moment? That's not easy these days for many people because people have very busy lives. They have concerns about their health. They have concerns about the state of affairs of the world, concerns about maybe the COVID crisis, concerns about finances, concerns about romances, concerns about education, concerns about profession, concerns about what do my colleagues think about me, concerns about their families, many, many kinds of concerns that have really nothing to do with just who you are in this moment. So how can we deal with that? What we have to deal with is just becoming aware first. Where is our mind? If our mind is not with us in this moment, then we're a bit in trouble because we then have to ask, well, then where is the mind? And so meditation allows us an opportunity to just check up. Is the mind with us? And if it's with us in the kind of very peaceful moments, or at least for a few of those moments, and we can continue to start expanding the amount of experience we're collecting. So think of meditation as just experience of mindfulness, experience of presence, experience of awareness. That's what meditation is. In Tibetan, the word for meditation means to become familiar. So when we do any kind of practice, whether it's our rituals, our prayers, our meditations, all we're trying to do is become more familiar with our practice, meaning keeping our mind with us in the here and now, with total compassion, loving kindness, with wisdom in the moment. Wisdom in Buddhism means knowing the true nature of reality, but in our case, we can say with our basic meditation, wisdom can mean, in this context, just the wisdom to be able to know what's going on. Am I really present with what's happening? Am I able to find out when my mind takes a little holiday, goes off on a little memory trip? And then am I wise enough to recognize when that's happening as soon as it's happening, as soon as possible, to bring it back? Oh, no, no, we're not going off on that thought. We're just staying with our breath, just breathing in, aware of breathing in, breathing out, aware of breathing out. So that's all we need to try to train in right now, to cultivate this kind of inner space awareness. Now, that's the inner part. We're looking inwardly. So our eyes are half open and half closed, but we're not using our eye consciousness. We're using our inner watching. Our inner eye is what's aware. So when we say watching, we're not using the physical eye to watch the breath. That would be silly. We can't see breath. It's invisible. We can follow the movement of the body as the body rises down at our diaphragm, right below the belly. When we breathe in, we really want to fill the body up with breath. So the body should actually physically move. When we breathe in, the body should move out, so that as we're breathing in, we're filling the body with a breath. Many people have the opposite breathing experience. When they breathe in, they're kind of contracting. So check out on your breath. We're going to do another short meditation, and you can check up to see if your body's expanding with air when you breathe in, or if it's contracting. It's no problem if it's contracting. We can just make a conscious effort to let the breath fill the body when we breathe in. So first we relax the belly, the muscles around the belly and the diaphragm and the waist. And then we want to just, when we breathe in, it's like sipping in the breath through the nose. We sip it in, we enjoy it. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. The breath, how conscious are we are breathing right now? It's wonderful. That's our lifeline. If we could think about breath the same way we think about food, many people are so food conscious about their health food, their organics, their vegan diets, their vegetarianisms, eating only certain kinds of vegetables at a certain time of the morning or the evening or during the course of the meal, which vegetables come when. Okay, food is important. It's true. We have a physical form. We need to take care of it. Many people are conscious of their water. Oh, I need to take my water. I need to drink my, how many liters of water every day and stay hydrated. True. Human beings' bodies are mostly physically comprised of water. Maybe even up to 90% of our physical form is water. We do need that. But think about it. How long could we live without food? If we had access to water, how long could we live without food? Well, some people have been lost in the Himalayas. Some years ago, a world-class trekker was completely lost. His food supply ran out, but he had access to water, and he survived over 30 days without food because he was in good physical form, he had water, and most importantly, he could breathe. Because if he had food but no water, his food, he could have had 30 days worth of food, but if he didn't have even more than 3 days of water, he would have dehydrated and died. So maybe up to 3 days you could go without water. That's stretching it. For many people, it would be not much more than 48 hours. You would dehydrate and you would die. But now let's think about breath, because we always talk about outer hygiene of like food and water, but let's talk about breath, something that arises that is even more crucial to our life than food and water. Do you agree with me? Why do I say more crucial? Because with breath, we can't, most of us, go more than 5 minutes without breath before we die. We can go days without food, days without water, but only minutes without breath. That's how essential breath is to our life. Yet how often have we ever been trained or taught about breath? Now, I have to say, some of my Ladakhi friends, I've seen this with the young children. I've seen my friend train his granddaughter about her belly muscles and how she should breathe and how she can fill up her muscles and her abdomen and blow the breath out. I've seen that happen in Ladakh, and I do believe here in India, where I'm living right now, that there's more awareness of this from the Ayurvedic traditions of the Indians people, the Hindus and the Buddhist practitioners. I think they do this kind of inner yoga. So, but I'm not saying every Indian person has learned that. I'm just saying up in Ladakh, when I was staying with my Buddhist friends, I witnessed this firsthand of this beautiful grandfather teaching his little granddaughter, who I think at the time she was Chocho was probably only like less than 2 years old, but she was understanding what he was teaching her. So she was learning how to take breath. That was the first time I'd ever seen anyone really teaching a child that kind of breathing instruction. And yet, how important, how critical to know how to breathe properly. Last week we did a nice training of the 9 breaths it's part of the yogas of Naropa, where we touched. If you didn't see it, you'll have to tune into the YouTube channel. I'm not going to repeat it tonight because I want to go on with a few other kinds of techniques, but a training of where you close the nostrils and you breathe in and you breathe out and you really purify the stale air in your body. I recommend doing it in the morning when you wake up. You do 3 breaths closing the right nostril, then 3 breaths closing the left and breathing in and breathing out, and then using both nostrils. And you really can feel that the breath is cleansing out of the body. You're releasing a lot of the old stale breath and then bringing in pure with awareness. A lot of this is about awareness. Again, intention. Intention is so important because intention, mind, and breath are very, very closely united, very closely joined. So in our Tibetan Buddhist practice, we really say, the mind, it rides on the breath. The mind and the breath are very intricately connected. So we want to really keep a purified breath. And in order to do that, most of us really, really need to learn how to breathe properly. So that's about taking nice, deep, long, full-bodied breaths. And ideally, even though in meditation we put our consciousness to putting the tongue up on the roof of the mouth so we won't use our mouth, throughout the day we should really use our nose more for breathing. So a little adage I heard years ago was, think of the nose as for breathing, the mouth is for eating. Because we really need to use the breath not only for inner space awareness, for calmness, for relaxation, to create more and more healthy states of mind, to decrease anxiety, to call ourselves back to the present moment. We really need to use breath for our health. We really need to use it for our inner hygiene. So, because inner hygiene is completely created on peace of mind. And peace of mind is completely created on breath as the foundation. So if we can use breath as the foundation, we'll find that we're not even needing to do much, but that our peace of mind is beginning to expand and really stabilize, that we can really stabilize things that might have thrown us off of our peace of mind, a year ago, that before we started meditation with this conscious building of peace of mind, that it no longer has the same effect on us. How wonderful. So we're using our breath as a conscious practice to actually create more healthy peace of mind, states of peace of mind. And that begins to manifest naturally because it's created by being conscious. Every moment we're able to bring our awareness back to our breath. That starts to develop new awareness, new neural pathways in our mind. And that's what completely then reprograms our physicality. So you see, I'm making the case here that breath is at least minimally as important as food and water for our health. I myself would argue even more important. First is our breath, and then our food and water come after that because we have to breathe our whole day through. We're not eating and drinking the whole day through. But our whole day through, we're taking breath by breath. And our awareness and our breath and our state of mind is what's really creating our day. So we know this. Think for yourself the last time you had a very stressful day. What happens when we get stressed out? Sometimes our body manifests, like if you have a big job interview or I don't know, you have to defend, maybe you have some debates in the nunnery or the monastery, you have some exams and you get nervous. Sometimes the nuns come to me and say, Dassel, I need a good meditation. I've got to defend today. I've got to go debate. I'm really nervous. What can I do? So we all know this feeling. We get nervous. So the thing that we're definitely going to have with this, we're not going to take Even in the West, people like to take their traveling cups with them everywhere, with their water or their tea or their coffee. The reality is you just don't have that in every situation. But what you do have is you have your breath. So you always can stop. Just take a deep breath and enjoy it. You just smile because you're enjoying it. It feels good to take a deep breath. Do it right now. No one knows that you're just enjoying your breath, but you're enjoying it. They're just thinking, hey, Dassel looks really happy. She looks really blissed out. And I am, because I'm enjoying my breath. So we can do this all the time because we have that with us. We can do it, like I'm just sitting here talking to my computer, which I'm not really, I'm talking to you. But honestly, most of the time I'm sitting, in the temple with 100 nuns, or sitting in a classroom with other nuns, or sitting down in the office with my colleagues. So I'm not just hanging out by myself, but you can be with people, you can be by yourself, you can be with strangers, you can be on the airplane. Just take a breath and enjoy it. How wonderful. Yeah, maybe I'm not going to be alive forever in this body, in these circumstances, in this present life. So let me just pause and take a breath and just enjoy that I have breath. Because if you have breath, you have life. That's awesome. How often do we stop to appreciate we have life? Amazing. Instead of getting stressed out by the challenges that life brings to us. The challenges of, oh, will I be healthy? Oh, will I have work? Oh, what about my education? I mean, yeah, you have to be aware of your goals that you have, but your life is happening despite whether you make your goals or not. Life is just your day-to-day experience. So your goals are going to come more to fruition the more comfortable and confident you are living with awareness and clarity day by day in your life. How does the day by day clarity come? It comes, by being present in each day, by being present in each hour, by being present in each half an hour, by being present in each 15 minutes, in each 10 minutes, in each 5 minutes, in each moment. Then back pedal into each breath, breath by breath by breath. We can be present. When we're eating, we can put our forks or our chopsticks or our paws with our fingers, because sometimes here in India, we're eating with our right hand. There's a reason for that. Some of you know. We're eating, we just take a break. Just stop for a minute instead of quickly. To slow yourself down, you switch your hand, switch your chopsticks or your fork to your opposite hand that's not your dominant hand, and start eating more slowly with your opposite hand so that you can become more mindful of taking bites, and then in between taking breath. Easing yourself into the moment, expanding your sense of presence. Expanding the silence, letting yourself enjoy the breath. And the breath really can come into the whole body. So if you found that your breath stops here, if it stops in your lungs, then just try to relax the body consciously. Think about just inviting every muscle. Let's do that right now. We'll do a little body scan meditation. So let's sit up again nice and comfortably, or if you're more comfortable, you can lay down, but I think it's better to do meditation sitting, because you can meditate any place, anywhere, anytime. And most of our life, we're these days more seated than we're supine. We're not laying down. We can do it standing up, but let's keep in some kind of seated posture. And we're going to do a little guided meditation now. So for the guided meditation, this one, you can close your eyes. And I'm going to lead you through what's called a body scan. And again, this is developing this inner space awareness, being present, calling our mind back to the moment the only place we're ever living our life is moment by moment. So we're going to do this meditation for about 15 minutes so you can really settle and enjoy. And beginning now, take the first few breaths, just enjoying the breath, just comfortably in and out through the nose. Of course, if you have a cold and it's difficult to breathe through the nose, obviously you use your mouth. So you just enjoy that you can breathe. But in meditation, in daily breathing, if your nasal passages are clear and you're able to, it's a healthier way. First of all, you have hairs inside your nose which filter out germs. So these days, many people have to go out wearing masks. But even if you can nose breathe, you're still going to be breathing in less particulates than if you're somehow walking around breathing through your mouth. Why? It's just because the mouth is bigger. You know, it's just a simple fact of if you're breathing through your mouth, more can come in. So if you're breathing through your nose, you can still fill the whole body up with breath, but it's going to be a longer, slower breath, deeper. And your mouth is closed, so less particulates can come in, including less disease. So that's better, it's healthier. So just enjoy the first few breaths and let yourself relax. Get very spacious. At the beginning, you can feel your body moving as you breathe in and out. Now put your awareness onto the cushion, whatever you're sitting on, whether that's a chair or a meditation cushion. Put your awareness onto your kupkyak. The word in Tibetan for chair is kupkyak, and it really literally means the holder of the fanny. We were laughing today about it, that we really enjoyed sometimes doing these direct translations. So you want to think about what is your fanny sitting on? What's holding your fanny right now? It's a cushion, it's a chair. Put all the attention and weight into that point where the body is meeting that surface, and let everything get very still and settled there. Feel that you're being supported effortlessly without any effort. And let the body just feel naturally held and balanced through that position. And again, your eyes can be closed. And now we're going to do the body scan. So your hands can be held in that mudra with the left under the right and the thumbs lightly touching. Or if it's more comfortable, you can extend your hands and put your hands face down out to your knees. You just have to find your own position in meditation. It's not like there's a one size fits all. You do what you feel brings you the most relaxed posture, where the posture keeps your backbone straight and you don't have to put a lot of effort into holding that position. So let's put your attention now up to the top of your head. Just with your inner awareness, check on the top of your head. Invite all the muscles in the top of the head to relax. You can invite the opening, the crown chakra, the Ushnishna at the very crown of the head, the top point to open up, and imagine it's connecting with a golden radiant light. In Buddhism, we say the Buddha Amitabha, who's the Buddha of infinite light. You don't have to be a Buddhist. You can just say, oh, Amitabha, I'd like to visit with you right now. I hear you're the Buddha of infinite light. That sounds wonderful. And Amitabha's pledge is to serve all beings. He doesn't say he's just serving Buddhists. So if you say, Amitabha, please come and sit above the crown of my head on a beautiful lotus flower and a sun and a moon cushion, streaming down beautiful light, you'll start to feel a little presence is there, some kind of energy. And it's his pleasure to come and be with you. So bringing clear, pure light that's going to stream down, filling your body, relaxing. So you're opening the top of the head to the beautiful infinite light. of the universal, Buddha-versal love, loving kindness, altruism. And then we're moving down to the ears. We're relaxing the ear muscles. Yes, it's true. You can relax. You have muscles all around your face. We're going to bring our awareness to the forehead. Relax the forehead muscles. You can move your eyebrows up and down. Make them dance a little bit. Those are your muscles making the move. Those are your forehead muscles. Relax that whole area. Open it up. Experiment. See if you can open your third eye. That's the point between your eyebrows. Your inner awareness you're using now to follow my voice and checking out these places. Just don't put a lot of time into the third eye. Just say, I'm inviting my third eye to open now, my wisdom eye. Now move back to the eyebrows, the eyelids. Relax all the muscles around the eyes. Soft, gentle. Now the nose. You can flare your nostrils a little bit. You can wiggle your nose. Those are your muscles. You've got muscles everywhere. Move them a little bit, twitch them a little bit, and then relax them to just, invite them to just relax. But experience them first. Now your cheek muscles. Smile, that's the best way to feel your cheek muscles. Do something silly like open your mouth really wide. Squint your eyes down. Now you're feeling all your face muscles, and relax them, drop them. Play around with them first, have some fun. Big smile. Bodhicitta. You've got to be a little silly. Everyone's a little bit too serious these days, so be a little bit silly. We're going to lighten up. You know, in Buddhism, that's what we're going for, enlightenment. Not taking ourselves too seriously. And now bring your awareness around to the back of your head. Now you can kind of try to move the muscles and skin on your head. You've got to kind of twitch around with your eyebrows, but you can start to feel a little bit that the skin can move a bit. You can actually move your chin up and down like you're shaking your head. You can do the little Hindi wiggle back and forth. That also moves some of the muscles and skin on the back of the head. Okay, now we're down to the mouth and the jaw. Let's move our jaw. Wiggle it. Work with it. Let's move with our lips. Blow in some kisses. Moving our lips. We've got muscles everywhere. Let's just invite them to become engaged and then relaxed. First, we have to identify them, and then we're going to relax them. We can suck them in a little bit. Okay? You see, you can do many things. So relax now. So the face and the head, completely now just relaxing. And because I hope you've laughed a little bit, now your body's relaxed. When we laugh, it sends chemicals to our whole body to relax more. So that's important, to be able to relax, to be a little bit silly. Let's do our tongue. Okay. I can make the sound ah. Now let's just be quiet and relax. Body scan into the neck. We can tip down. We can move back. We can move the shoulders. Circling backwards. Let's body scan circling forward. Let's check our arms, going to the upper arms. the lower arms, the elbows, inviting everything to just relax spaciously so that we start to even lose the parameters of the body itself. We can just expand out. If we find tension, we just invite it to release. Let's go down to our wrists and our hands. Let's actually move our hands, our wrists first in circles, circling out, circling in. And then our fingers pressing out. Then we can actually go up with the arms. And coming back, relaxing down again. Now see how that feels. Body scan, letting everything become open and spacious in the hands and the arms. Let's scan down the back and our front and our sides, our ribs. Invite everything to relax there. You might need to, you can stretch your wings back a little bit. You can come forward. Take a few breaths. Just let everything relax and get soft, spacious, gentle. Gentle relaxation awareness, building off of our theme from last week. Gentle relaxation awareness. Let's check our hips now, our lower back. Sometimes people hold tension there. We're not going to get out of the chair right now to really stretch anything. Just use your breath at this point. If you find some really strong, tense areas after this meditation session, do a little yoga. Sit on the ground and do a little stretching. But for now, we're just going to do the body scan. Let's use our breath to breathe down into our waist. Now you can feel the waist expand and press against the pants or the skirt or whatever you have around your waist. You can actually feel when you breathe in that your body presses against the fabric, and that lets you know you're doing a nice deep in-breath. Let's go to the buttocks. Relax the buttocks. Relax the belly, the pelvis. Relax the genital area. Let's relax the thighs, the front and the backs. Relax the knees. Let's go out right down the shins and the front of the legs, the shins and the back, called the calves. Let everything just become flowing and open using the breath. Imagine it's all just flowing out into space. Your body's becoming as big as space and as light as space. Opening up. You're losing your boundaries. Don't be afraid. You're still sitting in the chair, but use your mind to stretch out, to lose those boundaries, to be able to invite as much space in as you can. Let's go down into the ankles now. Invite space into the heels and the bottoms of the feet, the tops of the feet. Let's go into the toes. You can wiggle the toes a little bit. You can scrunch them up a little and then stretch them out. Better if you can do it barefoot or in your stocking feet. I just kicked my sandals off. Scrunch your toes out. Press them down a little if you want. Or just use your mind and bring the breath down into that space that you're connecting with the awareness of your mind and the intention, and breathe all the way down into the toes. Bring the breath all the way down. You can imagine your body as a hollow tube, able to bring the breath all the way down and right throughout the ends of the toes. And now take a moment yourself and scan through the body, any place you need to that I did not mention. If you have a certain place you need to focus on, you just bring your breath and attention there, and you're breathing light and love into that area. And then enjoy. So let's come out of this little exercise called a body scan. Come out at your own pace and reorient yourself back. You can open your eyes and just check out, how are you feeling? Did you get some benefits? I hope so. I hope that was a good 15 minutes of your time. And these videos get posted on a YouTube channel called Vajrayogini 2020. I think, or Vajrayogini Rising, I don't remember, but you'll find it. We'll put a link on this Facebook page, and you're able to go back and use this guided meditation anytime you want. And that's my goal, is that you're able to have some resource where you say, geez, I want to meditate and I don't know exactly what to do or how to do it, but I'm giving you these very basic practices that you can try to use anytime, not longer than 5 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And of course, we can breathe even just in 2 minutes. Take a 2-minute breath meditation. If we're waiting at the doctor's office and we're feeling a bit nervous, we can just sit, and instead of worrying about what the doctor's going to tell us, just remember we have breath, we have life, we have all the love of the universe within us, every breath by breath. That's what it is. So we bring ourselves back into that present moment awareness, and we can benefit ourselves greatly by cultivating that peace of mind. And truly, this is how love rises. Love has to arise from within our own hearts and minds. We don't have to be so concerned with what's going on in the state of the world, because that's going to go on the way it's going on anyway. We're not going to change anybody else out in the world. The only thing we can do is change our own minds. We can cultivate our own awareness. We can cultivate our own peace of mind. We can cultivate our own love in our hearts. And when we have that, that's what we're able to show up to life with. And that's how we actually create the change in the world that we'd like to be part of, by offering those as gifts to anyone we meet. Doesn't matter if it's our friend, our stranger, the ones we disagree with politically. Those things are so unimportant. But that we show up with a genuine peace of mind, a genuine love in our hearts for our own life and appreciation. We show up with a genuine ability to cultivate peace in whatever circumstances, whether we're sitting at home, just as, having a meditation session in our own privacy, equal to just as when we're in public and able to cultivate peace of mind when things are not as just environmentally controlled. That we start to learn the external environment does not have to dictate anything to us in terms of our internal environment. And so this is very important. We do this body scan to keep ourselves very aware of what is going on. Where is our body holding some tension, and how easy it is to start to open up using breath, very simple little movements, to bringing that inner space awareness into a greater sense of presence, showing up to our life moment by moment. Because this is where life is happening, and we want life to be positive. We want it to be healthy. We want to enjoy day by day, because we do not know how long we have to live a life, and we do not know, what's happening really even in the next hour, let alone the next day. So people think that this COVID situation brought a lot of insecurity and uncertainty to life, but the truth of the matter is none of us is the Buddha. We don't know how long we're going to be alive, even without COVID. That's the truth. So the point is to enjoy every day of life as a precious gift, because that is truly what it is. Why we call the present, because it is a present. It is a gift. So in English, the word present can mean gift as well as being in the here and now. So, think about these things a little bit. Try to contemplate it. Try to work with it in your own way, so that you have difficulties, it's okay. Even you have illness, it's okay. You can take this time to heal. One friend that I met from Colombia, she's online now, and she's home healing. She wants to be a yoga instructor, but she had to have a leg surgery. So now, she can only do some basic little sitting yoga, but she can do a lot of yoga using the mind, using the breath. So in the ancient Indian traditions, the first yoga really was with breath. the postures and all the asanas that many people love to do these days, which is wonderful. I think yoga is great. But the breath yoga was the first one, because we can always, yoga means union. We can always bring the union of the mind and the breath into that spacious relaxation, into that spacious presence into our life, anywhere we are, with any body, any physical capacity. So, people who are in wheelchairs, people who have physical disabilities can do breathing yoga. This is much more easy in that way than trying to do some very tricky asanas and the physical stretching yoga. So you might have experienced doing the body scan that you got a sense of your body relaxing and becoming more peaceful. And, with a little bit of movement that we did, that you feel much more spacious. So this is how we can use breath to create more union with our sacredness, our sacred presence, sacred awareness, and more health by using the breath to create more physical expanse. So that we get many benefits taking this time to increase our happiness, increase our peace of mind. So I'm going to just use a few minutes now to see if people have any questions, because I'll take a few. Well, there's a lot of love being sent. I say I love you all back. I have love coming from my aunt in the USA in Massachusetts. Love you, Cindy. And I have love coming from Colombia. I love you too, Lorena. Thank you. I love everyone who's tuning in right now, whether you're on the live session or you watch the video. Someone's asking, okay, is it true? Can coffee count as water? Not really, no. But you can have a cup of coffee in the morning. Coffee is not bad, but you can't substitute it for water. That wouldn't be healthy. Why? Because caffeine is a drug. If you get your body too much addicted to caffeine, you're going to start getting headaches when you don't have access to coffee. What will happen if you can't get coffee? Well, you'll start having physical problems of only your mind will be missing the coffee, craving the coffee. What if you get coffee but you don't have any cream to put in the coffee? It creates a lot of problems of kind of addictions, dependency. Water is for your health, and so water is very delicious, very tasty. Mostly still people have access to water that's free. Maybe now you have to get bottled water, but I think if you can get some clean, pure water, that's the best. Boil it. You don't have to buy it in a bottle. And drink it kind of room temperature, a little bit warm. That's healthier, especially now as we go into cold seasons. Many of you are going into winter from the places I talked about, the US and Sering Angmo, maybe in India, we're going into winter soon. So taking kind of warmed up water is healthier for you. That's much better than many, many coffees or even a lot of tea, even green tea. It's much better just have 1 or 2 cups of like a coffee or tea in the daytime, and the rest of the liquid should be water. That's how we do at the nunnery. So myself and some nuns here, we only eat 2 meals a day. We only eat breakfast and lunch. We don't eat after lunchtime. In the evening, we take some warm water or a warm herbal tea. During the day, we drink some warm water, but we might have a tea break at 10 in the morning. Myself, I drink a cup of coffee with breakfast, but I don't drink more coffee during the day. Take a tea break at 10 a.m. and then maybe at 3 p.m. we take another tea break. Some take a black tea. I usually then take an herbal tea or a ginger. My favorite, this is very good for the winter season, ginger lemon honey tea. That's very good for your health. You do a hot water. You boil some ginger root, you peel the ginger and press the ginger root in, you mash it in and let it boil up. And then you squeeze some lemon in with it while it's still on the stove, and then add some honey right into it and then strain it into, oh, that's a delicious, delicious drink. A very healthy, buy fresh ginger root wherever you are at the market, fresh lemon and some nice honey. That will get you through the whole winter. Really very low budget, not very costly, no caffeine. You'll come to love it, and then you'll have that every afternoon or in the morning. You can have it. That's what I have at 10 a.m. I don't take a caffeinated, except for my cup of coffee most days. Sometimes if we're walking around the nunnery, the nuns come out and say, would you like tea? Would you like tea? They're serving tea as they're doing their rituals, and they say, can we bring you tea? Then we might have a second cup of tea, but mostly I don't have the caffeine addiction, because I don't, as a Buddhist, I don't want to have any attachments to anything. I don't want anything in life outside of my own breath, my own happiness, my own peace of mind. I don't want to have anything that controls me. You know, that's what attachment, unhealthy desire is. Even having to have your cup of coffee, your mind is controlled by thinking always about that first cup of coffee. I don't have that. Like, I don't have to get up in the morning and make a first cup of coffee. Some mornings I don't have it with breakfast. It's not that big of a deal. During my 3-month retreat, we ran out of coffee. I was in silence. So the third month, I just went either with warm water or I just made a tea. So, you know, we can learn to let go of these attachments and just enjoy what's offered. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that freeing? That's liberating. We can let go of our favorite foods. We can let go of our favorite perfumes, our favorite clothings, our favorite shows, whatever we have, because these things eventually become like chocolate. Some of you, you've got to have your chocolate, I know. So we want to look at what kind of has got us held from the outside, using inner space awareness, being honest with ourselves, and then see where we can kind of let go and become more free to just enjoy. When we have inner peace, inner happiness, we have our breath, wonderful. What more do we really need? Then everything becomes really a gift. Everything becomes really so joyful. Because if we have our health, we have our breath, we have it. We're not asking life to be any different than it is. We're showing up with awareness. We're showing up with gratitude. We're showing up with joy. Showing up with inner space awareness. Because if our inner space is like that, no matter what's happening on the outer space, that's not going to affect us. And more likely than not, we're going to be able to change somebody else for their own benefit. They're going to enjoy getting peace of mind from us, getting loving kindness, that true happiness, getting compassion, patience, getting equanimity, that stability. We're only going to benefit others, and we're not even going to be trying. It's just going to happen. That's true, because you're taking care of your inner space, and you're showing up into whatever place you're in with that presence of mind, with that awareness of what your body's doing, what is your speech saying. It's going to reflect the quality of the mind that you've cultivated. That's how it works. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just so simple? Why do we complicate things? Why do we have to make life more complicated when we can keep it day by day, breath by breath? Very happy in the here and now, very joyful. Just sipping the breath. So that's what I have for you this evening. I think now maybe we've reached our 8 o'clock. Love and gratitude back to Midcoast, Maine. Thank you so much. Back to my roots. I have to admit, I'm a little bit homesick. This year I was meant to be back in the US in June. Obviously that couldn't happen. I'm also very at home here in India at the nunnery with my sisters here, in a very beautiful place right at the foothills of the Himalayas. We look up and see the magnificent glory of the Himalayas. I'll never get tired of seeing that. But, you know, I'm going to give some props. I don't usually do this, but there's a nice vlogger, I guess they're called, who tells stories on YouTube. And his site is called Trout and Coffee. And he does such a beautiful job. I grew up in Western Massachusetts, and that's where he lives. And Western Massachusetts is very serene and peaceful. And he just did a beautiful piece on the autumn foliage. Now, some of you have seen that, which is where all the leaves turn to these amazing, like a tapestry of Mother Nature's glory of all the trees in different colors. Oranges, golds, maroons. The evergreens are still in there, then some browns. It's just gorgeous. So he showed that. So I was so grateful to him for that. And then he had gone to Maine on a holiday with his best childhood friend to an island, a secret place, and I knew where it was in Maine. So then I got to see my beautiful ocean where I had lived for 13 years before being relocated to India. I got to see all beautiful Maine, and it gave me a little touch of home. So I'm grateful for that. Oh, and my friend Betsy from college days. Thank you so much for tuning in, Betsy. I'm so happy. And keep going, sister. Keep the positivity. Let's keep our love growing and rising. That's the only way forward. No matter what we're going through right now, love will always come through. So keep cultivating it, breathing peace, doing the practice. I'm very happy if I can help even one person for 1 minute feel better in life. That's the purpose served of our human life. So I wish you all a beautiful week. And until next week, I'll see you then. Keep your love rising. Keep your inner peace, inner awareness growing. And be well. Take good care of yourself. Take good care of each other. Lots of love and joy from Mother India.